by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
I could go on for 20 minutes on this match, but most of it would be match director talk. And although this match went well, and I think these were some pretty solid stages, I intend to save that for another video, perhaps, and keep this one brief. Item number 1, light strikes. Like I said in the title card, I think it's mostly reloading problems. My turret press is clamped to my general purpose workbench, which has a 3/4 inch plywood top on a 2x4 frame, which is fairly sturdy but not super sturdy, and the clamp mounting of the press allows for some flex too. If I'm not very careful with the priming stroke on that setup, I may not get them fully seated. So I'm hoping that mounting my new Dillon 750 on a sturdier bench, which is awaiting assembly in my basement, will make priming on that press more reliable, and either way I'm going to get some kind of mount for the turret press at some point. I'm also going to tear the gun down and make sure the firing pin spring is still okay, and maybe take another thousandth or two out of the shims that set its depth into the frame, along with the standard deep clean and maybe a swap to a different 11-pound spring just in case this one was borderline. But that's hopefully going to be the end of that. Item 2 is an observation about revolver classification. So classifiers with mandatory reloads are much more a reloading test in Revolver than they are in other divisions, because the spread of times is wider. So at the very least, reloads are a ceiling on the progress you can make in wheelgun earlier than they are in other divisions. A stage like this one, like 1807, has about 3 or 3.5 seconds of shooting if you're cracking on a good clip on those, between draws and splits and transitions. For a semi-auto, you might add a second for a fast reload or a second and a half for a slow one, and for a revolver, you might add 2 seconds for a fast one or say 3.5 for a slow one. Getting good at reloads buys you more with a wheel gun than it does with a semi-auto. So on that note, I've noticed that I tend to close the cylinder and only then start bringing the gun back up as I'm reloading. I think there's some time to be saved in closing the cylinder while the gun is on the way up, and my hand's kind of re-establishing its grip, and that's something I'm going to be working on in practice to hopefully shave a couple of tenths off of my overall splits. The way I'm rating myself on reloads right now by going from the shot to the closed cylinder doesn't capture that gun back up onto target thing, in part because it depends on the difficulty of the target, but I need to not forget about that as I'm practicing. Anyway, practice is something I'm only going to have time for if I get this video done quick and start setting up my new reloading bench tomorrow, and it's already pretty late as I record this, so I'm going to stick to my promise and keep this video brief. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for Battle for the North Coast.